The first time I opened the diary, I felt a shiver run down my spine, and not because of the cold draft in the attic. It was as if I unleashed a whispering echo that only I could hear. The entries were penned decades ago by someone named Elara, a name I'd never heard before, yet seemed oddly familiar. As I flipped through the pages, I began to dream of her life, a life filled with vibrant markets and shadowy figures lurking in alleyways. But as the nights passed, I noticed subtle changes in my reflection. My eyes, once a warm hazel, seemed to flicker with a grayish tint, and my smile felt foreign, as though it belonged to someone else. Each day, as I read more of Elara's story, my dreams grew more vivid. I could feel the cobblestone streets beneath my feet, hear the clamor of voices in a language I didn't know, yet understood perfectly. I tried to dismiss it as the power of suggestion, the mind's way of processing a compelling narrative. But when I began speaking to my friends in a tongue that wasn't mine, I knew something was wrong. They looked at me with confusion and concern, and my attempts to explain only deepened the rift between us, as if I were slipping into a world where I no longer belonged. The diary was like a drug. I craved each new entry, despite the growing unease in my heart. Elara's life was fraught with danger, and her entries hinted at some dark force she was trying to escape. Her fear became my own, and I found myself waking up in the middle of the night, gasping for breath, convinced that something was watching me from the shadows. I tried to stop reading, to reclaim my sense of self, but the pull was too strong. The more I resisted, the more my reflection seemed to mock me, her eyes, Elara's eyes, gleaming with an unsettling recognition. In the end, I realized the truth too late. The final entry was a chilling revelation. Elara had performed a ritual to escape her doomed fate, binding her soul to the diary. I watched in horror as my reflection, now fully Elara, smiled back at me with a knowing look. I was no longer the person in the mirror. My body, my life, was no longer mine. I screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the silence of the attic, leaving me trapped in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from, forever an echo in Elara's world.